Tom Hanks has appeared in some of the most notable films of his time, and his kids were born and raised among showbiz elite. But one Hanks offspring isn't what you'd expect when you think of the son of the nicest guy in Hollywood. Here are some details you may not know about Tom Hanks' son, Chet. Considering Chet comes from a family of actors, it makes sense that he's tried to make it in Hollywood. However, he doesn't necessarily think he owes his opportunities to these connections, telling 2Fab, "Everything I've got, I had to earn myself. I had to go and audition for every role I got, just like anybody else. It's not like I'm just gonna make a phone call and boom, you're in it. That's not how it works." That may be true, but Chet did reveal to People that his famous dad gave him some advice when it comes to being successful, saying, "Show up on time, know your lines, and be nice to everybody." Popping up in bit parts over the years, Chet later appeared in 2 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2017 and managed to take his credits up a notch when he landed the role of Charlie on Shameless from 2016 to 2018. Fans of Empire may also recognize him as Blake Sterling, a rapper and hip-hop artist who was with the show from 2018 to 2019, a role that Chet was more than prepared for thanks to one of his other creative pursuits. Chet doesn't just play a rapper on TV, he's also one in real life. Years ago, a young Chester Marlon Hanks rebranded himself as Chet Haze. Wiz Khalifa fans will recognize Chet's song White and Purple as a remake of Black and Yellow, which the lesser-known rapper renamed in honor of Northwestern University's colors where he went to school, according to The Cut. Apparently, Haze's former classmates remember him, with one person telling the world in a now-deleted tweet about what he was supposedly like during their school days. First calling Chet a rapper in quotes, they also recalled, "All the tacky little theater kids would cast him in their student plays hoping Tom Hanks would come watch." While Haze seems to get less than stellar support from his fellow alumni, he's not letting that hinder his attempts at a music career. That's perhaps why he's also a part of a group called Something Out West, which sounds like a mix of country and rap, as well as FTRZ with Drew Arthur. Chet may not be the most successful figure when it comes to both acting and rapping, but that doesn't mean that he's strapped for cash. Whether he was gifted with a decent trust fund from his wealthy parents or has managed to strike up significant deals for himself, Chet has an estimated $3 million to his name. While that's not exactly bad at all, it's not quite as impressive as the kind of cash that his relatives are banking. Chet's brother, actor Colin Hanks, has 5 times as much as his younger sibling, with an estimated net worth of around $15 million. However, neither of the younger Hanks can come close to matching the formidable fortunes that their parents have earned over the years. Thanks to her work on screen, as well as savvy real estate purchases and accompanying sales, Rita Wilson is reportedly worth a whopping $100 million. Of course, as you might expect, Tom Hanks is the one with the most money in the family, with a jaw-dropping estimated $400 million. Basically, Rita and Tom have made enough to take care of their family for generations, meaning the kids could never work another day in their life if they were so inclined. That is, if they end up inheriting their parents' millions. Tom Hanks' son may have come from a privileged background, but Chet has still faced and overcome a serious issue that could have taken his life. In 2014, he revealed that he'd struggled with substance use since he was 16, and in 2015, his behavior got him into trouble with the law after he trashed a hotel room, according to The Cut. That prompted the celeb to enter rehab to get a handle on his addiction. According to the Los Angeles Times, Chet later addressed the situation in a since-deleted Instagram post, saying, "I was selling doing coke until I couldn't even snort it up my nose anymore because it was so clogged. I even smoked crack." As dire as that sounds, he also offered hope.
"If I can change, you can change. There is a solution."
Noting that the man he had become was not who he wanted to be, Chet continued, "It's been a long journey for me discovering who I am because of all the pressures that I've dealt with in my life. You know, being the son of my dad and everything, and just trying to find where I fit in." Tom also opened up about his son's drug use and recovery, telling Entertainment Tonight, "As a parent, you love your kids unconditionally, and you support them in every step of the way, and you gotta applaud bravery and honesty when it comes. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration's 24/7 national helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. Many people who have overcome problems with addiction would understandably rather put the experience behind them and never think about it again. But Chet is using his struggle with addiction and eventual rehabilitation as an inspiration to others. In June 2019, Chet took to Instagram to share a shot of himself speaking in front of a crowd of teenagers and young adults. He captioned the image in part, "Thanks again for having me come talk to the kids about growing up, life, and sobriety. I got a lot out of it and hope they did too. Progress, not perfection. All love." The two organizations Chet also mentioned in the post, One on Campus and Visions Teen, aim to help students deal with issues around addiction and offer paths to treatment options. According to their website, One on Campus is a nonprofit that offers drop-ins, peer support groups, and events, as well as a free 24/7 nationwide assistant line for parents offering viable resources during times of struggle. Visions Teen runs treatment facilities in addition to, quote, "a safe, supportive, and intensive program that helps those who are trying to improve their lives come to terms with their problems and begin to make positive choices." Both initiatives are amazing resources, and Chet's involvement is definitely commendable. While Chet may be primarily known as Tom and Rita's kid, despite his attempts to prove himself as both an actor and rapper, the son of two Hollywood stars is, in fact, a father himself. Back in 2016, Chet welcomed a baby girl into the world. While opening up about his relationship with his daughter during an interview with Access Live in 2018, Chet addressed the hardships that he's been through with drugs and admitted, "If my daughter wasn't born, I don't know if I would have made the change necessary. She saved my life, honestly."
Was that sort of what all of a sudden made you wake up and realize I've got somebody else to live for?
That's pretty much single-handedly what it was.
That change has resulted in some pretty adorable times between the pair, which the proud papa likes to share on Instagram, where the two can be seen playing, cuddling, reading together, or even getting ready for Christmas. Proving that he's like his own father in the ways that really matter, he captioned the Christmas pic with, "Doing all the things that my dad used to do with me. No better feeling." Tom Hanks tends to make headlines by earning industry accolades or doing adorable things like crashing a couple's wedding photo shoot. Time magazine even ran a piece that was filled with charming tidbits about the beloved star called 6 Most Tom Hanks Things That Tom Hanks Has Ever Done. On the other hand, his son Chet sometimes makes waves for downright cringeworthy reasons. For instance, in 2015, the younger Hanks defended his right to use a racial slur because he's into hip-hop culture. Naturally, that didn't go over well, and in 2018, he admitted that he regrets his past statements. He blamed his questionable behavior on drugs and the fact that he was basically, in his words, trolling for attention.
I did like the ultimate lame thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I did like the ultimate like cornball thing.
However, in 2020, Pedestrian reported Chet Hanks made headlines once again, only this time it was because he was genuinely convinced that snowboarding, Billabong t-shirts, and the word gnarly are white culture. Chet tried to argue on Instagram, quote, "If a Rastafarian with dreadlocks who grew up in Jamaica watching the X Games and Olympics got into those things, are white people supposed to get mad at him for appropriating their culture? So my question is, how come it doesn't work both ways?" Perhaps Chet isn't the best person to be asking that kind of question, especially considering the other ways he's been accused of crossing the line. Chet was accused of cultural appropriation when he showed up to the 2020 Golden Globes, where his father was being honored with the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement. Chet ended up stirring up a scandal when he hit the red carpet and spoke with a Jamaican patois accent.
Me wake up this morning and me see the thing turn up. Internet gone mad.
While People magazine points out that Chet's mother thought it was, quote, "maybe the best laugh of the night," others didn't agree. Chet was called out for his behavior on social media, which apparently surprised him. Starting off with the fake accent yet again, he said in an Instagram video, "Never in a million years would I have thought that me just goofing around on the red carpet would have gotten so much attention. But man, it's been crazy."
One thing I'm not joking about is my love and appreciation for Jamaica, the Jamaican culture.
While he may have just been messing around, he also released a new song at the same time, hinting at the fact that he may have done this just to stir up attention. However, Chet eventually changed tactics and posted another video while writing in the caption, "I want to thank everybody and anybody who has taken the time to offer me a constructive critique and perspective for the entirety of this conversation. Your words have not fallen on deaf ears. I have been paying attention to everything you guys have been saying, and it has been deeply eye-opening. Unsurprisingly, Chet has claimed on Instagram that he's the black sheep of his family. But just because he's not like his parents or siblings doesn't mean that the family rejects him. In fact, they seem to fully support him, even when times get tough. Chet has opened up about the fact that during his darkest times with drug abuse, his parents were still trying to reach out to him. However, he was the one who cut them off because he felt, in his words, anger and resentment toward them. He admitted it was really a way to direct those negative emotions outward instead of toward himself. Beyond that, Chet told Access Live during a 2018 interview that his mom knew his drug issue was going to be a problem before he did. He added, "Moms always know best. Moms can see what you're going through." The unconditional support is perhaps why Chet seems to adore his family, taking to Instagram to share posts on his parents' anniversary or on his mom's birthday, along with messages like, "Love you guys," and "Who loves you more than me?" He may not share a ton of similarities with the rest of his famous family, but Chet certainly seems to be just as loving as the rest of them. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.